Hey, my name is Sarah, and today's book review is on, drumroll please, the fifth book in the Fallen Angel series, Possession by J.R. Ward. I admit, these covers are spectacular. I mean, like, ooh, mysterious. So, okay, non-spoilers. Again, do I need to say how many stars this book deserves? We are counting down to the final showdowns, people, because after this is one more, and this book was just intense. It's like 525 pages, and it goes by so fast that it just leaves you gasping for what happens. So, non-spoilers. This book is actually a love triangle! Really? And I'm not talking about Edward Jacob or Jason Simon love triangle. No. Main character's name is Kate, and she has to choose between two men, JB and Duke. Who will the lucky man be? Ooh, this is the love triangle of all love triangles, people. I'll get you that in spoilers. So it has to do with Kate deciding who she picks, thus, the soul coming into play for this round. We actually don't, in my opinion, we didn't see that much of Jim, well, mostly Jim, not interfering in this round. It's mostly Adrian who's in the shadows, because Davina lives up on her deal from the last book. And in regards of gaining a win, she gives Sissy back. Ooh, and that has huge consequences that even I didn't see coming. I was like, this book was actually full of turns I did not see coming. And so it was really intense once the guys of her choice, of Kate's choice, figure out what's going on, and I'm just like, and how it ends on like a very sour note. I'm just like, you know what? I'm gonna go out tonight. Don't wait up for me. I come back home like at 4 a.m. and I'm totally buzzed. I'm like, I don't want to continue. Seriously, it's getting very intense. We're about to have our last few rounds, and I have a theory that I need answered in a way. I'll get to that in spoilers. So that's as far as I'll get to non-spoilers. Again, do I really need to say how many stars this deserves? I think not. Fifth book to the Fallen Angel series by J.R. Ward, Possession. And the title does come into play a lot in this book. So, yeah. Bye, non-spoilers! Wah! Spoilers. So, like I said, this title does come into play a lot for basically almost every character. Jim, having finally rescued Sissy. Kate, who's really not, I would say, she was too in control of her life. She had to have everything in a certain order, and when she tried something new for a change, it was like a different person possessed her. And we have Adrian, and so I can't think of. We just have so many plays into possession. Davina, of course, her possession over Amir is very exaggerated a lot, actually. And so, yeah. We take place, I'm just gonna like hold it right here because it's a heavy book. And I think it deserves some airtime. It does not pay. And so, Kate, like I said, she's always played things safe. Everything has to be like in a specific order, or she fears for her life, but that's growing up in a way. And her getting her hair done blonde by the same hair person in the last book. She's not blonde. And and that kind of in a way brings in JB and Duke. JB, he's a singer, struggling singer, performer, but he's doing good for his life and stuff. And he notices Kate at one of his little shindigs, and he takes an interest in her. I'm thinking, oh, he's cute. And then we meet Duke, who's a bouncer and works basically for the city during the day, and it's like Easter eggs for where he works, which is Iron Mask. Like, Sarah, we saw that in the first book too, in the book Covet with Tress. Like, okay, it's not really that big of an Easter egg, even though we see Hex and John Matthew. Easter egg, but okay, I missed Hex. Like, Duke roughed up a guy a little too much, and he was scaring the crap out of him. And then Hex is like, you're taking the next 2 days off. It's like, I am not. And then Hex finishes the sentences, arguing with you. That's a very good idea, boss. I'll take it. Wow, you actually can think. Congratulations. And yes, let's go with that. I miss her funny sarcasm, even though she's telling you what to do as the boss, and you don't want to say anything back to her. I was like, I missed you. And I thought about Hex again too, because jumping over to Sissy, she is back with Jim. I really didn't like Sissy that much because she sounded a little bit whiny when she was getting used to the fact that she's back on Earth, even though she believes she was down in, the underworld for a few centuries. And yeah, Jim kind of understands that stuff, but yeah, she visits her family ghost-wise and everything, and she was just very whiny in the beginning. But then she starts taking care of the house. Like, she surprises Jim and Adrian by cooking, right? And she's like, I didn't know if I was supposed to take the truck or anything, so I took one of the Harleys. And Jim is like freaking out in his mind. And I'm thinking of Hex when she took her mother Autumn on a ride on her bike, and in Tor's mind, he's like thinking, she's not wearing a helmet. She's not wearing protective gear. Why is she on the back of the Harley? Is Hex like properly licensed to drive that thing? I was like, that's what Jim is thinking. And she's like, my dad taught me how to drive this when I was younger. I was like, and then Adrian comes down. It's like, that's real food. I need some. Oh my God, Adrian. So again, how we don't see that much of Jim, and so we really don't see much of Nigel the douche that much. And so we see him in the beginning because he finds out that Jim gave away one of the flags to Davina, and Adrian's just like, I'm out. When them two start arguing, I was like, even I would leave the house for a couple of hours considering how dangerous those conversations got. So yeah, Adrian does talk with Colin because he needs like a little help because he knows that Jin's gonna be too focused on Sissy during this round. So Colin throws out hints. Thus, we know that the soul is Duke. So the only time Adrian does interact with Duke is like he pretends to be like a new partner for the city, working in the parks and stuff, which like I said that Duke does, right? And so like he works with Adrian even though he worries about the guy because his limp and his bad eye. Duke isn't really that bad of a guy. But yes, he has a hard exterior. He sees Kay and things like, one-time thing and stuff, but he does start growing feelings. He's actually a good guy, in a way. He's just afraid to put himself out there because he's afraid what might happen because of past events. And so, Kate starts... She doesn't date, but she meets up again with JB because he's such a great guy. And for a second after he was talking about his family history, because he was an orphan, his mother died giving birth and we had no clue about his dad, right? At first I thought he was a vampire because we only saw him at night, but then again saw him during the day, so I was like, okay, he's not a vampire. But then he started talking to Kate about his family and how mother died and never knew the dad. And he has blue, like, that doesn't count, but who do we know that's been going just across Caldwell, but Boston, and leaving bastards left and right, and we still haven't caught yet. That relationship to Wrath, that mail that's been going around is to the father, Butch, Manny, and I believe her name is Jo. Now JB, Like, Sarah, that's not even an Easter egg. You're just grasping straws. It is an Easter egg. I tell you, because I will get to that later. It's like, we really need to find this mail. Seriously. And so, Duke. Okay. Kate does have lunch with JB, and they get to know each other a little bit much. And one of his ex-lovers has issues with Kate, but then she goes to have dinner after the previous night, hooking up with Duke at Iron Mask, and that was funny. The bouncers were like, "Duke, what are you doing in there? We got, I'm busy right now, Duke. What are you doing in the interrogation room?" "He's not alone." From Kate. "Oh, okay, Duke, just take your time." Whoop. And when Kate leaves, the other bouncers are like following him like little duckies, and like, "So you never do a woman back there? What's what's her name? Huh? What's she like? What's her personality?" And so I was like, "Oh my god, I love these guys." So after that, Kate and Duke go for dinner at the same diner, the Riverside Diner, I believe it's called. That first book, Vic and Marie-Therese met up. Third book, where Riley and Vec met up. Fourth book, Matthias and his chick. Ooh, what was her name again? Mel's! That was her name, Mel. Sorry, I had to go look at that name again because... Sorry. So yeah, Matthias and Mel's meet up there. Is this gonna be like, an average everyday meetup thing for the connection to the series? Because, Duke and Kate meet there as well? It's like, really? Really? Are you sure one of those employees is a paranormalist is drawing them in there as hungry customers? So they meet up there again. And they have their little hookout again. So it's like, they're cute together. I gotta admit that, because Duke's pretending to be all hard and everything, and Kate's just trying to come out of her comfort zone. And it's like, they're cute. I like them together. I was like, okay, JB is all nice and stuff, and he's adorable, but sorry, dude, you got friend zoned written all over your forehead. I'm with Kate and Duke. Caite for Kate, short for Caitlin, and Duke, DUKE. Hashtag cake. I am sorry, I had to say that. Hashtag cake. And so, Davina, I will have to say that she did not exactly play at all in this game. She gave Kate a little nudge, but that was it. She let everything else fall into place. But her time with the fallen angels... So... Jim was with Sissy. They were driving a black cab across the road, and Jim had an accident. And he does like a James Bond thing, getting out of the hospital. And it's like, he jumps out of a window with Colin and Sissy watching, all invisible. And he's thinking, how am I going to make this great escape? And this car pulls up. And then that's Davina being like, do you need some help? No. Just jump onto the metro. I'm pretty sure they've seen weirder people than you have bleeding in the hospital, Johnny. Don't get in the car! Because after that, it gets all... Him and Davina have another terrible conversation with each other. She tries to hit him with her car. It kind of nicks him. And now she has a piece of metal with connections to a team that she puts into place. Because she pretends to be Sissy and snuggles with Jim and stuff. But he finds out eventually. But really, he could have avoided all of this. But I will have to say, I will not have to intervene with the Davina issue and mess up with her head. Because she's doing it by herself, man. She's freaking out. Things are not going her way. The rules are changing. A certain rule that changes most of all just messes with her head. She's with her therapist again, just freaking out, and she tries to do hot yoga, and she's like thinking maybe I should strangle this instructor because it's not working. And then when Adrian distracts her like he will do, and doesn't go Davina's way. She can't get him going. And he's like, try harder. And she's just messed up when she goes see her therapist. And she's like, she's never been able to fail with guys and their performances. Like, yo, Adrian, this is the best way to get to Davina's mind and keep her busy. Because what's so funny about this was that after they were done and she was like so ashamed of herself, Adrian went to Target with her to get clothes for Sissy. And then they went to TGI Fridays. I was like, oh my god. Best distractions ever, dude. No, I just gotta find a way how to get across her security and grab that mirror of hers. You need to grab out a Christmas list, Adrian, and take her shopping and go get Christmas items, because that will keep y'all busy for a while. And so, we find out that Duke was actually going to use Kate to get back at JB. He was like, why does he have this deep hatred for this nice dude, really? But, we also find out that JB isn't all that nice and stuff because, you know, Kate, one of his little flings that I mentioned earlier, she was being rude to Kate one night, and because of that, Kate got chased in a garage. I wonder by who. And JB killed her. Like, he was killing a fly. And of course, Davina shows up and does her ways. She really wasn't intervening in a way and stuff. So, JB was tested positive for the psycho. And how did we find that out? Because when Duke said he was going to get back at JB by getting through Kate, because he found out that JB actually liked her, we found out that JB is Duke's fraternal twin brother. And I was reading that, and I read that scene when he said I was going to get back at my brother by getting to you, right? My mind. And my body just got all, I melted popsicle. For real, I did not see that coming. Because we knew that Duke had an old girlfriend, and now she's got a kid, and I assumed that was his kid who's just being a jerk to her for no apparent reason. But no! JB got into Duke's life after being sent to a juvenile facility, getting all mad because he thought his goody two-shoe brother, he really have not seen what he does for a living, got everything that he wanted after being tested positive for a psycho. So he got even by hooking up with Duke's girlfriend in college and leaving her pregnant, and thus screwing with his mind in a way. So that kid is actually Duke's nephew. And when JB finds out that Duke is seeing Kate, he tries to end it, just to mess with Duke even more in the head. Tricks Kate to go see Duke when he finally decides to have a sit down with his ex-girlfriend's kid, his nephew. And she just assumes that his son. No, sister, is not. Duke does explain some things to her, and he says be careful of JB because police are on this investigation who killed Jennifer, and he's afraid that JB will come for Kate and everything. He does. But, okay. Seriously, these guys had to have been related to the guy who's related to Reth, because when JB attacks Kate and Duke comes busting in, I think he breaks the door because we hear like a thud sound, and then this mighty roar, right? Something that sounds animalistic. It sounds like a male vampire. You know what I mean? So I'm thinking now we have one other human relation to Wrath, because Kate does shoot JB after he knives Duke, but they get to a hospital in time and everything. Duke does the best escape Carnigan in the same hospital just to get to Kate. I think these employees need to up on their pay grade. But apparently they got Jim and Adrian got duped again on who the soul was, because it wasn't Duke. It was JB, and I don't think you could save a guy that way, so another one for Davina. But as I mentioned about these rules, so apparently there's a rule about Jim being a successor of the two bosses, aka Nigel the douche and Davina the bitch, either get killed on the field or some other way, right? Well, now there's a possibility that Duke might be the next, Jim might be the next Nigel, because, Nigel killed himself. Because he knew what was happening between Jim and Davina. So he killed himself knowing that Jim, under the rules, would have to replace him and a new savior would be picked. Thus screwing with Davina's head even more. I appreciate that, but... And now, the two extra angels locked up the castle that houses the souls in preparation of attack. Colin went ballistic on Jim's ass. And now we have no clue if Jim is going to have to be forced to take the position of Nigel in the next book. Okay. Seriously, I need to get the creator down here in a way, have a copy of these rules, and get like a third-party lawyer to go through all these rules and just see what the hell are these twists and turns, people. Really? That's gonna be interesting in the next book, I will admit that. I didn't get my miracle again. Eddie is still dead. Why is he still dead? We need Eddie so much because Davina broke into Jim's house pretending to be Sissy, which was creepy. I thought that Sissy was getting possessed by Davina for reals. And it's like, my theory. Okay. So we know the creator has some relationship to Dog in a way. So we have Dog. We have this weird janitor that works at the church that was talking to Kate in a very cryptic way that came into play. And we have the therapist that knows how to work Davina. By any chance, is this the creator? In dog form, in janitor form, in therapist form? You know, that's a theory. Maybe he's actually been part of this game without us knowing for so long, like a SAO reference, how the guy who created the game was actually a player because it would be boring not to be playing a game that he created. You know what I mean? Like, that's very interesting. Like, he's been playing multiple parts in this game that he said has to finally end. And that's my thought on this book. Seriously. We did have a scene, though, I forgot to mention, with a psychic, and I was afraid that was Davina messing with Duke, but apparently this woman, Yasmin Oakes, is an actual psychic, because she warned Duke to beware of a brunette. It's like, oh, I don't have to be suspicious of psychics in this series, because there's an actually nice one. And this book, Duke's been seeing this woman for a while now. Gives off another premonition of his fate. Dog, janitor, therapist. New psychic? For the creator? I don't know. So, yeah. Davina and Team Good and Team Bad. Davina for Team Bad and Jim for Team Good. 3-2, people. That's not good, Jim. You really shouldn't give Davina that extra win for Sissy, because seriously, she and the Walls of Souls now with JB, who's now in there for being evil and trying to kill his twin brother and Kate down there. I don't think he'll make it up there, but the good souls that were meant to, go up in heaven, I think they would have gotten up to heaven if you won the war. So things are heating up for the next and final book, people. Kate and Duke, hashtag cake, got their happily ever after. Jim's barely the man that we knew from the very beginning. Adrian is slowly becoming a better person in a way. I don't know what's with Sissy and her seeing halos on certain people. I don't know. Is she gonna have some usefulness in the last book because she's reading Eddie's book? I don't know. Last book, Eddie better come back. Are some of my people theories on the creator true? Because I would like to see the therapist actually coming out to Davina is like, oh, by the way, I'm the creator, haha, bitch. And so it's like, whew. And how many more Easter eggs am I gonna have to suffer from until we get like a final throwdown with some people that we know getting tied into this? Possession People by J.R. Ward. Book 5 in the Fallen Angel series. Again, do I need to give out how many stars this book needs? I think not. Woo! Intense? About 525 pages? Why do these thick books have so many pages but it goes by so fast in a short span of days? I do not know why, but it works. So yeah. Once again, J.R. Ward, Possession, Book 5 in the Fallen Angel series. My name is Sarah, and bye!